Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. I'm glad to have all of you guys here at the Market Report. Today is Friday, June 14th, 2019. And, you know, right now, there's an awful lot of situations occurring in the world. And these are any one of which, black swans basically, are coming at us from the left and from the right, every which way. You know, let's get this show started. Let's open up the charts right here and take a look. And we're going to move right into the markets this morning. First thing we're going to take a look at is the silver price. You know, earlier today, silver was going up really good along with gold. But the dollar started to move upwards rather sharply. And it's, right now it's dropping. The silver price is dropping. But it's still up 5 cents on the day. Okay, 4 cents on the day. And now, let's take a look at gold. And we're seeing gold at $13.47. You know, and gold did the exact same maneuver once the dollar started to go up. Gold started to go down a little bit. But we still have a $5.70 increase on the day. $1,347.60 bid. $13.48.70 ask. Now, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been moving steadily upwards. It's starting to heat back up to head toward the $9,000 mark, where it went up to last time, but then it receded back again, you know. But now it's starting to move up and heat up, head toward the $9,000 mark. It's at 83.73.92 today. Let's take a look at cryptocurrency market capitalizations. And what we're looking at is 265.3 billion. Let me just refresh the page and see which direction this is moving. So it's at 265.3 right now. 265.0. So lost 300 million that quick. But that's just a small fluctuation downwards in the overall market. Bitcoin dominance at 56.2%. And we're seeing Bitcoin Cash has been surging upwards. It's at 411.51, so it's one of the big movers right now. But Litecoin lost 2.3%, 131.79. We've seen a lot of movement upwards in Litecoin lately. XRP's at 39 cents. Ethereum is at 257 bucks. And these are basically what your coins are doing today, you know. Bitcoin's getting ready to go into what I call its next. This is what I think, anyways. My opinion, not financial advice. Don't take it as financial advice, but I think Bitcoin in the next month or so is going to start to take its next leg up, and it's going to hit a little bit of a psychological barrier at 10,000. You know, it might take a few tries before it busts through that. It's a psychological barrier. That's the thing. In the markets, you know, there's psychological barriers. Generally, they come at the top of a number, like 10,000, 20,000. For silver, the psychological barrier would probably be right now $15 is a little bit, and then $20 would be the next psychological barrier. Gold, the psychological barrier, maybe 1,500 or whatever, but it's always a psychological barrier. Why these psychological barriers in the market actually function is people will put their buy orders and sell orders in at a psychological number, like, you know, when the price reaches a certain number, like you know, say with gold, say $1,500, psychological number. 2,000 is an even bigger. It's always at the even number when it hits a certain level. Anyway, that's the way it works. Let's take a look now at the Dow Jones, and we're seeing the Dow Jones move downwards today. It's down 65 points on the day, and the reason for this is a slowdown in China. Well, I knew this slowdown was there. I've been pointing this slowdown out to you guys for months in the Chinese economy, caused by the trade wars, and the world's economy is slowing down anyway. But the Chinese economy, being the second largest economy on Earth, you know, when it slows down, it can take the whole world down with it. The whole world's economy can go down with China, but the whole world's economy wasn't doing good in the first place. America is probably got the strongest economy, but, you know, it's tepid at best. It's not really, we never really did have a full-on economic recovery, even though they touted that we were having an economic recovery in the United States. Still, it was like some people denied it, and that's because it wasn't a real full-on economic recovery. So now the Dow Jones is down 90 points. It's dropping pretty fast. The realization is setting in that the Chinese economy is really starting to turn over and slow down big time. Let's take a look now at oil prices. You know, oil prices. Let me put the 5-day in and show you what happened when we had this talk about what's going on over in the Persian Gulf region. Oil prices went upwards, you know, and the thing is they did settle down a little bit. Let me see if I can find it here. Maybe the 1 month will show it. It's only this. I think it's only this little bounce right here, you know. So oil prices, you know, are staying down. They're still down. They're still down compared to what they can do. Let's just put it this way: compared to where if the Strait of Hormuz, if there's real big trouble in that region and the oil gets cut off, do you know how high oil can go? These prices can easily double, triple even on oil. You know, we could be in a few months from now looking at an oil price seriously of over $100. You know, even on this Sweet Lake crude, which is one of your cheaper oils, you know, you could be looking at and this price is going to be transferred to the pump. You'll see double the price of gasoline at the pump, you know, and this has a profound effect upon the economy in general. Let's take a look at U.S. Treasuries today. Whoop. I meant to grab, I'm having trouble grabbing this, there we go, that's better. Okay, U.S. Treasuries today, it seems like the Treasuries are taking one day when they go up in price and one day when they go down in price. It's like they're alternating, but today's a day when the yields are rising, but we don't see a significant rise in yields like we see it. Generally, what we've been seeing lately is on the days when yields are falling, they fall more than they rise the next day. It's like one step forward and 2 steps back, but the yield curve inversion is still there. And most of the yield curve inversion, the real strength of it is in the middle of the yield curve, around the 3-year. Look at the 3 years, 1.79. If we move all the way up to the 3-month, it's 2.23. So you're going to get a lot more yield from a short term than you are from a longer term investment, you know. And the U.S. 30 years, the only holdout on this yield curve inversion. It goes all the way out to the 10-year. And it's been strengthening and deepening, this yield curve inversion. Let's take a look now at the U.S. dollar. You're going to see that little bounce that knocked the price of gold and silver down a little bit. This little bounce in the dollar. 97.31. But you see the bounce right here. Right there, you see the bounce. It happened at 8:26 a.m. basically. And a little bounce right there. That's what took the price of gold and silver and took the edge off. We were moving up in price for gold and silver until the dollar started moving up. Let's take a look now at this story. This story is from CityWire. It says overnight markets on the U.S. futures, Asia, and stock markets sag on Chinese data and Gulf attacks. U.S. futures and Asia shares inched lower on Friday as industrial output growth in China unexpectedly. Well, it wasn't unexpected by me. I knew this was coming for months. And I'm going to tell you what. I think personally that the Chinese, the numbers that are coming out of China, you know, they always want to paint a rosy, a more beautiful picture of their economy than what it really is. This is probably scales of magnitude worse than the data coming out. The data coming out is probably painting a much better picture than what it really is, the real reality of the situation. And the reality of the situation is going to get worse and worse over the upcoming days, weeks, and months as this trade war progresses. The two sides have locked into positions now. They've taken their positions. There's no real, not yet, there's no real common ground on this where they can formulate a deal. You know, not yet. Of course, I think in the future they will come to a deal, but how far will the Chinese economy sag? China could be in an actual recession. You know, I mean, these GDP numbers that come from China, you know, are ramped up. I'm thinking by at least 3%. You know, and so say they're ramped up by 3%. They're putting in GDP numbers around 6%. So that means the real GDP is around 3%. It wouldn't be long before that real GDP of 3% dwindles down to nothing or even goes below the zero mark. You know, and China can only hide it for so long before finally they and the rest of the world has to admit that we've all went into a recession worldwide. Listen, thank you guys for listening to this market report, and we'll catch you again very, very soon. I'll probably do a special show this weekend, and Monday we'll be back with the market report. Listen, you guys have a great weekend. Thank you for watching my show. I really appreciate it. Give a like and a thumbs up, and we'll catch you guys in the next show. Bye-bye, guys.